So here we are, guys. I'm about to take the eyepiece for a spin on the track. I'm here with Gary, and he's going to take us through a little bit about the specs on this beautiful vehicle. Gary?
Hey guys, welcome to Jaguar Experience. As you can see, it's a facility designed to just grow a little bit of awareness around the brand. We do a lot of driver training. We do a lot of interaction with people who already own cars. So we can really do all of it. Nice thing about it is that we have everything connected. So for the Land Rover side we have extensive off-road track. On the Jaguar side we have skip ramp, we have a dynamic area where we can do a lot more dynamic driving. What we're going to be in today is the electric I-Pace. Okay, so it works out to about 400 horsepower, which is 294 kilowatts in terms of you understand, 696 newton meters. Okay, so it's 104.5 seconds and it is 100% an electric car. No petrol, no diesel, no funny fossil fuels that go inside it.
Oh, that's impressive.
And it's a strange sensation of speed because it comes without any theatre. There is no noise and engine noises and things trying to that makes you feel like a fast car. So we'll see what you think about it when we're done.
So Gary, can you tell us quickly what sort of range do we get on a single charge?
So 480 kilometers what they got when they did the WLTP testing. With the temperature conditions in the country, because the batteries stick within a certain temperature, we've gotten closer, in my personal experience, I've gotten about 14.
Oh wow.
But electric cars work better in stop driving, like traffic, things like that. When you start going open road, then it gets down to so you'll make it from here to Harrismith, charge up at Harrismith, and
okay, that's fantastic. And how long will it take for us to charge up?
Oh,
to get that
$1 million question, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So follow us, guys. I'll show you something here quickly. So this is the charging box. This is sort of what you'd put in the garage in your own house. Okay, so nice realistic test for people to actually see and play with. It works out to about a 7.4 kilowatt charger as long as you have the right supply to it. And with that, you could charge one of these from 0 in 12 hours. Okay. So it's a 90 kilowatt battery in the car. When you charge your cell phone, do you wait for it to be on 0 before you plug it in?
No.
You generally 30-40% people get the phone's going to die and you plug it.
100%.
You could do exactly the same with the car, or after every 2-3 days, plug your phone in and charge, plug your car in and charge.
Okay.
If you're worried about peak times with Eskom, so between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, when they charge you the most for using a lot of electricity, you can actually set your car to charge late at night. So you can plug it in at 5 o'clock when you get home from work, or 6:30 when you're sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
Plug it in 11 o'clock at night, your car starts charging until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, so you actually schedule, although it's plugged in, you can schedule when you should actually activate the charger. That's fantastic, technology at its best.
Then we have the public charging stations. It's like a fast charger, so the black charger over there on the end of the pavement there, that is a 60 kilowatt charger. Then we have something for the normal height, so you can take the foot off the brake, the car won't go anywhere, just start to lift up a bit. Okay. And then if you were going to attempt a gravel road or you need a little bit extra ground clearance, you can actually lift the car through something called the off-road height. You can see there on the dash it's showing you.
I can actually
Feel the car lifting.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We're going to stay down at the normal height, just because it's the most applicable to what we're going to do. You can either put in the brake, you can hit that little B on the console there.
That's D for daddy.
Or D for drive.
Oh, for drive. Sometimes.
Okay, you can pull to the right and side.
So how do you find using the air conditioner influences?
Sure. I turn the aircon all the way down. Okay, see the range changes there.
Okay.
Turn the aircon all the way up. We lose 10 kilometers.
Okay.
Okay. So you can instantly see the influence how you driving the car changes your range. So this one's currently on 86% charge. Because of the type of driving this car does, it's a lot of quick acceleration because of what we do here. It's not an accurate sort of display of the real range of the car. It's not being driven like you would an everyday car.
Yes. So tell me, another question for you, Gary. How accurate would you say that range is? If it tells me I've got 275 k's left.
Right now, with 86% battery, if we drove it normally, we'd comfortably make Houston. And that's more than 275 k's. So, like I said, because of the type of driving this car is done, that's what it's recorded, that's what it's picking up. So it thinks we're doing 41.2 in the right. It thinks we've been using our fuel consumption, if I can phrase it that way, is 41.2 kilowatts an hour. Because of the type of driving it's been doing. So you can see here, it's not a lot of constant acceleration and you're holding a speed, nice and gently bring the car to a stop. People are going foot flat, feeling how quickly this car accelerates, and then jumping on the brakes. Okay, conveniently we have the fastest Jaguar we have ever produced down here with us, the F-Type SVR. Yeah. So this does 4.5 seconds 0 to 100, that does 3 seconds.
Wow.
You've got 2 seats, we can take a couple more people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can pull up to this blue line, I'll explain the exercise for us.
Okay.
So this is a steering exercise. Right. So don't worry too much about doing this quickly. You can build up onto speed here. Just get nice and comfortable with what we're going to do, and we can build on the power and the speed. It is a steering exercise. Okay. So you see the orange cones that run down this darker line in the middle.
Yes.
Okay. Then the green or lime cones that are lying on the side are showing you which way around we're going to go. So the first one we're going to go to the left of, the second one we're going to the right. Just take it nice and easy for the first run, get used to how it feels, and then slowly build on all of these things.
It is a very smooth drive. It almost feels like I'm not
100%.
even on the road.
This is a little bit smoother than the rest of South Africa's tar, though. But they are very comfortable cars, and that's the benefit of the air suspension as well. Because that pocket of air is absorbing all those little shocks and bumps. Okay, and we can come around to the left, and we're going to go to the outside lane over there. Right. Any ideas what we've set up here?
This is a quarter mile.
Not quite a quarter mile, but same idea. It's a straight line acceleration. So from here, we'll go foot flat on the accelerator at the red cones. I just want you to get onto the brakes.
Okay.
You need quite a firm brake pressure because you start to run out of space. Like we said, this is a quick car. You won't expect it. Okay. When you're ready, you can accelerate.
I'm good. Make sure you're getting this, guys.
Okay, onto the brakes. There we go. Perfect. Now you feel when you come off the accelerator before you got onto the brakes, the car really starts slowing down.
I did feel that, yes.
Okay, so it has regenerative charging. So when you come off the accelerator or just lighten the pressure on the accelerator pedal, it's trying to regain some of the charge that you've lost. Okay. It's never going to get you back the amount of power that you've lost from the acceleration, but it's getting some back. And that's why electric cars, it's one of the really big reasons why they are a lot better at stop-start driving compared to just
It's fantastic. And it was like we were gonna launch. It almost felt for a second like we were gonna go straight up into the sky and not forward.
But that's the thing with electric cars,
Unbelievable.
it's instant.
Yes.
The best way I can explain it is think of an electric blender. Okay. Those little NutriBullet things.
Yeah.
Okay. You tell it to make your smoothie at setting speed 1 or setting speed 3. So stop there for me. Stay there. And it'll be at that speed straight away. Because it's that
Welcome
power.
to it. Yeah.
Where in an internal combustion engine, it has to build up to a certain rev range where it has the power. That's the massive difference. This has all that power and all that torque. Kick straight through. The minute you put your foot flat,
It's actually quite addictive, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're speaking to me right now and I'm listening to you, don't get me wrong. But the
you're
first thing...
desperate to go.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Fantastic.
Okay, you ready to go again?
Yeah, let's
so
do it.
now you can start to go a little bit faster.
So you don't get anybody that hits the cones, right?
If they hit the cone, then it's not there. That's why we use cones and it's not set up with the stakes down the middle. That does a lot more damage than the cone does.
Man, this is so fun. This guy is incredibly smooth on the road.
You know, it doesn't have a conventional gearbox because it doesn't have a powertrain like that. So it effectively has one gear. So it just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. Okay,
So,
you ready for round
Going
two?
again? Oh, of course.
Yeah, go for it.
You ready?
Yeah. And there you go, that's the brake. You can see on the right hand side where it says the charge. Okay.
Alright, I see that.
So under acceleration we say power. When you come off the accelerator we say charge.
Incredible. That is fantastic.
Nice thing is we have a whole bunch of different driving modes as well. So I don't know if you noticed a couple of these buttons over here. One of them has a little checkered flag on it.
Oh, you kidding
So
me?
there's something called the dynamic program, dynamic mode. And I'll actually show you everything that it's changed.
Should I stop there?
Yeah, you can start with the blue cones again. So on the screen here it shows you everything that little button's changed for us. So when it says drive motor, it means the sensitivity of the accelerator. Okay. So it's not going to give the car any more power than what it already has, but you can be a lot more specific and purposeful with how you use the accelerator and how you use that power. Then on steering, because we have something called EPAS, it's electronic power assisted steering, it can change how the steering feels. So it's added a bit of weight, which gives you a lot more confidence in the steering. Also stops you from doing very strange things at high speed with the steering. So if you change lanes on the highway at high speed, okay, you're doing 120 kilometers an hour, that's fast. If you turn too much, you could end up, instead of one lane into the second lane, where with the way the steering is now, it is a little bit more direct and you understand where the steering is a bit. It's also speed sensitive, so even without going into dynamic, the faster you drive, the more weight it adds. So driving around nice slow speeds in the parking lot, really easy to turn the steering wheel.
Yes.
The minute we start going faster, things like this, you're doing 50, 60 kilometers an hour down a very tight steering exercise.
Yes.
It's adding weight to the throttle or the steering, and then we do that and it starts off again. Straight away. Okay, give it a shot. So we've stiffened up the suspension as well. The car's going to corner a lot flatter.
Okay. So we'll go a little quicker than the last
Yeah.
round.
No, it's slowly start to build on.
Okay, let's do this. Can't help but feel.
You can feel the sensitivity on the throttle there.
Yes.
And the steering, a little bit of weight.
Not that much, and I don't know if it's because I'm tensing up a bit more.
Hey, you must relax, man. Relax.
Listen, I still can't get past the power. It is unbelievable.
It's fast car. That is a fast car, but it makes a lot of noise, so you expect it.
Yes.
This is fast without the theatre.
It takes you by surprise. Yeah, it really does.
It is a lot of fun, and they're very clever with where they put the, how the car's laid out.
Controls.
So because we don't have a gearbox and transmission that's running through the middle of the car to get power to the back, there's a lot more usable space inside the car. All the batteries are in the floor, so the weight is very low down. So through a steering exercise like that, the car stays pretty flat and compact the whole way. You can still do all these dynamic exercises. Okay. Give it another shot. Now we're in dynamic, so now the throttle response is even more sensitive.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay. You ready?
Oh, it never gets old.
Keep going. On the brakes now?
Oh, it never gets old. That is absolutely fantastic. If I had one of these, I'd probably do that every day. Just for the fun of it. Even if I hadn't have anywhere to go, I'd probably just whip the Jag out, find a stick, piece of road and just do that.
And people would underestimate you because you're telling them it's an electric car.
So, is the iPace currently available to the
100%. There's actually a waiting list.
Wow.
All of
fantastic,
the cars they brought in were sold.
Wow.
And you can have all the normal feature comforts that you have in any other car. So you and I are currently having our 6 point down.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So, tell
You
me.
have things like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Okay? You can put a SIM card in the car and have a web browser there. Obviously it won't work when you're driving, but when you stop, put the car in park. Okay? You can control apps, so apps for your phone so you to be able to integrate with your car. Obviously if you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, then you can pick this one up. Then you have things like the ASR switch, which can show you where the car is in the car. And as you drive, it'll tell you whether the power is going to the rear of the car or the front. As you start to turn, it'll show you the arc that the car is going to take.
I noticed even in a stationary position,
100%.
there's feedback on the image on the right hand side. This is so good.
So things like low friction launch or programs to help you pull off. In SA, we've never needed to do this. We've tried to create conditions where the car might need it. And the car is too good for our imagination. Things like the mirror, when you have black eyes, that's when you start to move. The car can control the control the steering, the driver on the car. You have things like parking. So it's not an autonomous thing. It's a feature, so you are still in control. You are ultimately the person responsible. That isn't do the steering. And something quite cool is the roof.
I was waiting for an opportunity to ask you about that.
Okay. So this is the standard roof. This is pretty much all you can get. But if you feel it, obviously it's quite warm from being in the sun.
Right.
But it feels it's got a very different texture to it than the normal glass.
That's right, yes, I feel that.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's been treated with a special coating to make the water run off it really good. Like a lot more aerodynamic. So from the bonnet all the way to the back of the car, there's a big focus on the aerodynamics. And it makes water just run off rather than cool on the car. Very clever.
Very good.
Obviously you still have the assist functions, so if you lose a tyre or something goes wrong, you run out of battery, you press that button and you phone Jaguar assist and they can come and help you. If you're in an emergency, if you're in a car accident or you're driving along and your passenger starts having a heart attack or whatever it is, you press that button and they can send emergency services to come help. They can also obtain medical answers as well. So they can actually give you medical advice on they send you to the
Wow, that's really putting the care.
100%. License is putting number. You can do that off the cell phone as well. The app of the car.
Really getting the feedback.
It's as easy to drive in a normal car. It has all the feature comforts that a normal car has. It's just changed what it runs on. That's all.
Wow, that's brilliant.
And it's a huge amount of space inside because we're not wasting it with, like we spoke about earlier, gearboxes and things in the way.
Yeah. So, what do you say we hit it one more time? Got this guy sitting behind
Give it
us.
a go. Yeah, nice and smooth. Start looking a bit further ahead. There you go. Keep going.
How did I do, coach? That was my quickest one yet.
Oh, we can get you faster, don't worry.
So, how long have you been stationed here with Jaguar?
So I've worked here for the last 4 years as a permanent employee,
Okay.
but I freelanced with Jaguar Land Rover for a couple of years before that.
Fantastic. So, my next question is, what don't you love about your job?
Paperwork.
Okay.
Paperwork is the bane of my existence.
Okay. So, he's behind us again. Shall we do it?
Yeah, go for
You
it.
know this is my favorite part, right?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Not going to stop me from doing this. I love it as much as you do. You can feel in dynamic, it makes that noise that it starts to come through.
I was going to ask that. It's almost like we put in an engine somewhere along
Yeah.
the road.
It sounds a little bit more like a spaceship than an engine, but there is a noise to it just to give you some sense of the acceleration.
Yeah. It's fantastic. promise you I'm in love. I love this thing, the color, just everything. It's, man, I could literally do this the entire day.
It's tough to get out of this car sometimes, I won't lie.
Shall we go again?
Yeah, so try and drop your hand a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you feel how nice and comfortable this makes in front of you. When you drive, don't focus too much on the cone right in front of the car.
I always feel
Start
like
to
when
look further ahead.
I just feel like when I'm gonna swerve back in, I'm gonna nick it with the side of the car.
If we touch a cone, time out, and fix it.
So look at the one ahead.
But start looking a little bit further ahead. So start looking at the second, sometimes the third cone. Okay. Nice constant acceleration.
Okay, let's do this.
So don't look at the speed. Don't worry about that.
Not doing that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it. That actually makes a huge difference, but I still feel like when I come back in, I'm gonna take that cone down. Did I?
No.
Yeah.
You'll hear it. Well, you drove through there faster. Even with
how
talking
fast was
to
that?
me.
How fast was that?
So I think the fastest you went was 50.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like 70 something.
No. We
Just
started getting
edit the
tired.
50 out.
Okay, your favorite part when you're ready?
Oh yeah.
You get about 91 kilometers an hour in that short space of time.
That's impressive. Really, that's remarkable. So,
Really cool thing with this screen.
so talk to me a little bit about some off-road capabilities. Are they any built into the I-Pace, or is that not the intention?
It isn't the intention. It is all-wheel drive, but so is that car behind us. F-Type SVR is also all-wheel drive. With the air suspension, it does give us the capability to start going, into slightly more off the beaten track. But in no sense would I take this and try a 4x4 track. It's also a very niche car to take into a 4x4 drive.
Of course.
So if something does happen, it's a little more difficult to get it out. They are incredible on gravel roads. When we did the launch with the media, we drove in through the Jaguar River. So there's a river crossing by Lanseria Airport, and we got them to drive an electric car through a river, which I think a couple of them were a little scared about. But just to show off the versatility of the car, as much as it's an EV and you think it can only do one thing, it is still a normal car.
Fantastic.
But they're incredible on gravel roads. I wouldn't take it too much further than that. It just makes things like the charges are further away.
Of course. Tell me a little bit about the screen that we're looking at the moment. I see something about maximum G.
So I thought it might be something you'd be interested in. So this is part of the dynamic eye screen. So I'll go back here for you. So as you swipe across from the home page, so this is where your car starts. It's the home screen. Yeah. The things you would use the most is nice big menus for it. So obviously your nav, your media, and your phone. Relatively easy to connect your phone to it. Okay. And you swipe across it like a tablet. Go to dynamic eye, and it generally starts on the screen. The one that you saw earlier.
Yes.
Everything that's changed by going into the dynamic program. Then we have a lap timer, okay, a G meter, and a graph on the pedals. So you can actually see what you've done with the brake and the accelerator as you've gone along. So if you went lap by lap, it has to be under a 2-minute lap, otherwise we run out of data there. So specifically for the acceleration side over there, we'll see what how many G's we can get the car to.
Okay.
I think the most I've seen is 0.6. So let's see if you can do it the good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
So
do
don't
it.
worry too much about this over here.
Okay.
Just start looking further ahead.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's get this out of the way. We want to see how many G's we can do. Feels like it's gonna throw out. You didn't look at the speedometer that time, did you?
No.
Oh no, man.
Yeah, when you're ready.
So, by the time I hit the brake up there at the red course, am I going to be able to see
Huh?
the reading on there?
100%.
Okay, because I don't want to be looking there when I've got this
You
beast
can already see though.
flat out.
0.4 on the acceleration. When you turn right, 0.8. When you turn left, 0.7.
Wow.
And then under braking it was only 0.2. Okay. So at the red cones, get really hard onto the brake. If you touch the ABS, it doesn't happen. You see what figures you can get out.
Okay.
Okay. On brakes, brake. So 0.6 from acceleration, 0.7 from deceleration.
It never gets old. It's like each time we come around this track, there's something new
But it's a fun
to
car to
impress
drive.
us. It is. It really is.
Very rarely do we have people get out of this and not be smiling.
Man,
Even if it's not something you would buy, you enjoy driving it,
fantastic.
and it
Really.
opens your eyes maybe a little bit to what electric cars are about.
Of course. I think it's the way of the future. I mean, it has
100%.
to be. It has to be.
It might be a stepping stone to something bigger, but it's an incredible interim between combustion engines and whatever's next.
Oh, of course. 100% with you on that one.
Okay, here we go again.
Okay. So, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm too rough, I might swing the back out. But
Nah.
you said it's all-wheel drive, right?
Yeah,
So all
stability
my wheels,
controls on. Yeah, slow it down a bit. Okay,
Did you see the speed of this time?
I didn't.
Oh no!
To start going quicker, we probably have to start changing your driving position.
Yeah, I'm a little bit uncomfortable in the
You
seat.
can feel how
in
straight
terms
your
of-
arms are.
Yeah, I'm a short guy.
But then it's driver training and things like that. It's
Of
not
course.
vehicle test. But when you're ready, go for it.
We do this for the last time.
Yep.
You ready, guys?
So from here, foot flat. Keep it there.
Pow! And
Brakes really
brake.
hard. Hard.
Wow, that's
There
incredible.
you go. Almost a G. Forward. You can see the hazard lights have come on.
Why is
So
that?
if we were on the highway, for example, and you suddenly had to climb on the brakes,
Man, give me a
Just
five.
to
That
tell
is
the-
brilliant. That is brilliant. Because in that split second that it takes me to think about where's my
yeah,
flicker switch,
you stop
that-
looking
the car's
ahead.
and the car's done it for me already.
100%.
So drivers behind me are already alerted that look, there's some kind of issue going on there, you know. And the car's done it for me.
100%.
I love it.
But
Can I have two?
Let's go again. I'll show you things like eco mode. So how the car changes. As much as we all focus on the power and performance and speed and all of those things. Feel how the car is now changed. So we can grab it. Let's go to mode. Yeah, so from changing it into the eco program, when we got in the car, it said 285 kilometers range. I turned the air conditioner up to its its highest fan speed. We dropped 10 k's. We put it in eco. We've gained about 50 kilometers.
Wow. So talk to me. What is the difference there?
So it's just getting everything to work in the most efficient way. So it'll drop the aircon speeds down. You know, the throttle response is going to be a lot less. Everything's set into a way that makes it the most comfortable. And the cars that have a more conventional gearbox. So when it has 8 gears like that, it'll change the gears at the optimal moment to be the most efficient. It's not going to rev it all the way to 6,000 RPM before it changes the gear. It'll change it 1.8, 2.5, somewhere there.
But tell me now, question for you. What if I needed that kind of power that we had just up on the track there?
First dynamic.
Okay. So it's
It'll
not
still deliver all of the power the car has. It's a smoother delivery of power.
okay.
It's preventing that massive acceleration, and it'll just deliver it in a little bit more of a composed way.
Okay. Gentleman mode.
Yeah, 100%. So feed it, drive it. See if I'm talking complete nonsense or.
Actually, is it just my imagination or does the accelerator itself feel a little more stiff?
The actual pedal? Probably
Yeah.
not.
No?
I've never had that experience.
Maybe there's a big difference when you smack it down to the floor when you're trying to be a gentleman about it.
Yeah, now you really notice the difference and how it falls off.
Ready?
Yeah.
whiplash. Careful now, keep your head straight. Oh, massive.
It still has the power, but it's not
Yeah.
as aggressive.
It's not immediately. It's sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have rain, ice, and snow mode. This temperature isn't the greatest for the battery. Okay. This is now the winter program.
Okay.
Rain, ice, and snow. So another change in throttle response.
So talk to me about a little bit about maintenance on an electric vehicle.
So the service intervals stay the same. Purely just from a safety side of it, they still want to make sure that the brakes are in the right condition, all the fluids are correct. But you have something like 15,000 moving parts in an internal combustion engine. Okay? There are a lot less in this. You have an electric motor on your axle in the front, an electric motor on the axle in the back. So if you open the bonnet, there's not much to see underneath. There's still things there, things like your coolant fluids and you know, the little capture for the washer fluids for the windscreen and things like that. But they don't want you to be involved in your engine to start off with. Then it's an electric engine, so there's a lot more chance of, even with the car not really running, you really injuring yourself. So and they're very good at labeling everything that is dangerous. So you'll see when the cars are in service in the dealers, okay? Cordon the car off, make sure it's safe, have specific signs and things to show people what's going on. But yeah, a lot of it is more an inspection than a service. You have an 8-year warranty on the battery. After that, you'll have about an 80% of the performance out of them because they're temperature controlled. So the biggest thing is it doesn't matter what phone you have. I'm not one for the iPhone, Samsung, Huawei argument,
Yeah.
but the batteries in those aren't temperature regulated. So because they sit in our pockets or they sit in the sun, the batteries, you get maybe a year and a half out of it in its best condition, and then they drastically drop off. With this, it's constantly monitoring the temperature of the battery. So in really extreme temperatures, sort of like what we have right now, it's going to drain the battery faster. Okay. The adverse side is really extreme cold. It's going to start draining the battery faster. The car has to do it. Again, makes sense. Yeah. Give it a go again.
Okay, we'll be back.
The winter program again, eh?
Yeah, really nice.
Still a strong delivery of power.
Yes, definitely.
Gonna stop somewhere, take some photos.
Yes, please. How about we stop right here and we get one of
With
the
all the cones.
yeah, with the car, maybe like with a wheel like that, a little fancy.
Yeah. So
So-
drop it all the way down and just press the P. Yeah, cars in park, it's applied the park brake for you.
How do I feel it? Oh, there's one.
Or just open your door. Take your seatbelt off.
No. Sure. Oh man, I'm sorry for that.
Okay, so when you buy an electric vehicle, this is what you're gonna see when you pop the hood. Let me just say, having driven this vehicle, I feel like a new person. I feel like I'm ready for the revolution. So, being termed Jaguar experience, I think it's an apt title because that's really what it has been, an experience of note. The power from this vehicle is just unbelievable. Putting your foot down sucks you into the back of your seat and you just go. Highly, highly recommended. Highly, highly respected. I would love to own one, and I would really, really love to drive every single day. Be it in the Joburg bustling traffic, be it out on the country roads on a sunny morning. This certainly has set out to be everything you want from a vehicle. Make sure that you come down to Loniel Santon, have a chat to Gary, Nadia and the team, and book an experience. I promise you, it's something you won't forget.